Welcome to ET Now Startup Central, India's first and only daily show dedicated to startups and entrepreneurship. I'm Chandra Srikanth, joining you live from India's startup capital, Bangalore, and we have a power-packed lineup for you over the next 20 minutes.
That's right, and I'm Krishna Kumar coming to you live from ET Now's Mumbai studios. First up, a check on all that's making headlines here on ET Now Startup Central. One of India's veteran internet entrepreneurs, Sanjeev Bikhchandani, tells ET Now the valuation correction this time won't be as bad as the previous cycles. While massive funding will come down, angel funds are here to stay. Truecaller, the app that helps you identify unknown numbers, has big plans for the Indian market going forward. Its founder says India will be the biggest market going ahead. Qualcomm too is betting big on Indian startups to bring more innovations to their own services. A chat with Qualcomm's top management coming up. It's a mobile brand that's gone viral and all for the wrong reasons. Hashtag Freedom251 is trending and how we curate the best tweets for you. And our special segment, the book that changed my life, Silicon Valley entrepreneur Carl Mehta tells you about the book that every entrepreneur should read. So those were the headlines, and straight up we have a very special person joining us on ET Now Startup Central. Chandra, take it away.
That's right, Krishna. The person we're talking about is really a veteran internet entrepreneur. I mean, if there were to be a guru for all the internet companies today, it will surely be this man, Sanjeev Bikhchandani, the founder of Infoedge, which remember owns portals such as Naukri, Jeevan Sathi, 99 Acres, much before the current boom started. And he's also made very sound investments in companies such as Zomato, which is a unicorn, Policy Bazaar and Merit Nation. We will be speaking to him to really understand the current mood in the venture environment and, is it too early to really press the panic button? Sanjeev Bikhchandani, such a pleasure having you on ET Now Startup Central. I want to start by really asking you, you've seen so many boom and bust cycles in the internet space. How would you really characterize the current environment, especially after the record funding that we've seen in the last couple of years? Are we due for a major correction like everyone's predicting?
So if you go back to the earlier two corrections or meltdowns, I think the 2000 meltdown, everything fell off a cliff suddenly, and suddenly funding dried up. It was all over within a month. The 2008 meltdown, again, things fell off a cliff. This time it's been a correction over 6 months and not falling off a cliff. I think, and there is still some money available. There is money available for Series A. There is money available at the angel network level. There is money available with venture capital funds where you have committed dedicated India funds, which are still not disbursed, and so on. So it's not as if money has completely dried up. It's available. But yes, I think some of the froth, which is, massive rounds at high valuations from investors who would typically not invest in private companies, I think that will go away. So right now, I would say it's choppy waters. I would say it's harder than before, but it's not as if funding has gone away.
Sanjeev, this is Krishna coming to you from ET Now's Mumbai studios. Pleasure having you here. Tell us, now I want to ask you, how do you think companies can prepare for this kind of a scenario? Based on your own experience, tell us, what would your advice be?
Customer money is always better than investor money, and entrepreneurs should focus on getting customers and getting them to pay. And that will be evidence of the fact that the business is viable, the value prop, is real. And if you get the customer's money and you get it repeatedly, the investor's money will almost certainly follow. So companies and entrepreneurs should focus on getting customers and customer money rather than getting investor money. Investor money will definitely follow.
customer money always better than investor money. Very sound advice coming in there. But talking about investor money, we're still seeing VC investments. It hasn't dried up altogether, but the quantum is clearly coming down. Do you think that's going to be the trend going forward?
So I think, look, Series A are happening, angel rounds are happening. It's just that the velocity has got slower, which means that investors are taking more time. The valuation may be more modest. The rounds may be smaller. And Series B, C, and D means that you should have delivered something to get them.
All right, in terms of sectoral favorites, will it now shift from consumer internet to the enterprise space?
It's hard to predict. I think one principle remains constant, which is good ideas being implemented by good entrepreneurs will get funded.
Sanjeev, I want to talk about your own companies here that Infoedge owns. How are they going to be faring through this period? 99 acres has seen burn rate going up. Naukri, too, analysts were quite disappointed with the recent results. Take us through the performance of your own companies.
No, I think the results were as per plan. Naukri, in fact, margins are good, growth was good, top line was good. That's our main business as of now. 99 acres, there was a higher burn, and that was a planned burn. I think the key thing in 99 acres is that we are traffic leaders by a mile now, with traffic share in the mid 40% range. I think that's a big deal going forward. And the rest was, maybe a write-off here, a write-off there, and because of an investment being sort of written down, which is a one-off event.
Finally, Sanjeev, lot of buzz around Jeevansathi.com. Will you be divesting that anytime soon? And will you be really be getting the valuation that you want in the current market?
No, we have no definite plans to divest taking Jeevansathi. We continue to run the business. Naturally, we are alive to all opportunities that may emerge.
Sanjeev Bikhchandani of Infoedge and legendary investor, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on ET Now Startup Central. Now, moving on to the other big voice that we have on the show today, Truecaller, the app that helps you and me identify unknown numbers, crossed the 100 million user mark in India recently. But that's not enough. The company says it's eyeing a larger pie and that the country will continue to be their biggest market in the world. Nami Zarringhalam, co-founder of Truecaller, spoke to ET Now's Rahul Dayama in Bengaluru. Listen to that conversation.
The developer community is seeing a big pain point in respect to onboarding users and the OTP and all the infrastructure that you have to build to support that. So we took that to heart, and we started to think about how we could help improve the onboarding, because at the end of the day it's our users, likewise as other app users, who are onboarding on these apps, and the making a better user experience for everyone will benefit the whole developer community. So with that thesis, we built True SDK, which we launched today.
The government really pushing Stand Up India, Startup India, but then there's another talk about excessive valuations, the amount of money that's flowing in, questions on unit economics. How do you view this Indian ecosystem?
The growth in India is going to keep happening. And what we're seeing right now is a very, still 20% of the Indian population being online on a monthly basis and so on. So I still think there's a tremendous opportunity for growth for everyone. Most people in India are just coming online now, and that's going to keep happening for the next 3-4 years. And the winners of this market are not clear yet. I mean, to us, I think valuing the businesses that are big in India based on that they are big in India today, and looking at comparing with some of the, for instance, U.S. companies, and comparing and saying, well, a U.S. user is monetizing this well, a Indian user is monetizing this well. I think that's the wrong angle. The engagement of our users in India is really important to us, and we're looking to increase that engagement. And with True SDK, I think we're also looking to create the increased engagement for other apps and partners in the community. So engagement is one of the areas that I think really all app developers should be looking at, and purely because it also brings growth. So the second thing, which is built on top of engagement, is obviously monetization, and I think that's the next thing which we will also be focusing on here in India throughout 2016 and beyond. But it's a really exciting opportunity that we have here.
How soon will you reach the 200 mark? Faster than you reach the 100? Do you have any targets there?
Of course, we're growing faster each and every day, so it's going to be much faster than we reached the previous 100. In fact, I think the acceleration that we have in our user growth is increasing every day.
From Truecaller to another important conversation where Make in India met Startup India today. We are talking about Qualcomm's Q Prize for Startups, which happened as part of the mega Make in India event in Mumbai. Now, over 500 startups applied for that coveted prize. There were 5 finalists who were made to present to a jury that included the likes of Infosys co-founder Chris Gopalakrishnan and DIPP Secretary Amitabh Kant. Krishna also caught up with Qualcomm's top management in India, Sunil Lalwani, and its ventures chief Karti Madasamy to really find out about Qualcomm's plans here for startups going ahead. Listen in.
I think we've reached an amazing tipping point. I mean, the kind of entries we got, it's not only about these 5 who were there today, but the kind of entries, and Karthik can add to that, was truly amazing. Okay. It clearly shows that India is up several notches in terms of the kind of local innovation and entrepreneurship that's coming in the startup ecosystem.
All right. Karthik?
Yeah, I mean, we started looking at Indian startups 10 years ago. Okay. I think compared to what we saw 10 years ago to today, I think we're gone 100 times. So it's definitely a big growth. And I think the main thing for me is that this time we focused primarily around hardware and core tech startups, not just software startups. So even in that constraint, the quality of startups that we saw was really amazing.
Wow. I wanted to understand, the winner today gets 2 crore rupees. But talk to us about Qualcomm's plans in terms of funding startups for all the startups who are watching our show.
Yeah, so we are early stage tech VC. That's how we look at it. So we look at companies in the tech space, preferably in the mobile or connected devices space. We've been here since 2007 and done 25 plus investments. Anywhere from late seed investments, which could be in the order of $500,000, couple of crores, to $5-6 million. We've done quite a bit of companies, Capillary Technologies, Portia Medical, Reverie Language Technology, several of them. Yeah.
Throw some color in terms of, you have, give us the idea of the funds that you have right now and how much more it can go up to going forward. So, say over a 12-month horizon.
I'll talk about the most recent announcement that was made by Qualcomm when the Prime Minister and our Executive Chairman of Qualcomm met up in California. This was around end September, where it was a $150 million announcement for funding and fueling the startup ecosystem over a period of time. This is one way of initiating and taking that forward. And I think the buzz and the excitement for Make in India is actually also helping that ecosystem mushroom further.
All right. Narendra, I want to ask you, what is your take on the Startup Action Plan? And more importantly, what do you think Budget 2016 needs to do when it comes to India's startup ecosystem?
I think we have to just make it much easier to do business here. I think that's the overarching theme, I would say. I think to do a startup in India is probably the hardest thing compared to doing a startup in the Valley or in any other place. So making it easier, even by 10%, would be really, really good.
Sunil, we've seen the Startup Action Plan and we have a Budget 2016 that's coming up. Anything specific that you're looking for from Budget 2016 for startups? I
think as Karthi said, making it easier for the component ecosystem to move in. Some amazing ideas are coming forward. The ecosystem is moving fast. I think the policies need to be geared up more towards the component ecosystem coming in here so that companies like Qualcomm who are helping innovation and design in India and the companies leveraging that can truly start leveraging the component ecosystem to make in India.
Chandra, I also ended up having a quick chat with the winner of that Q Prize contest, a startup called Arc Robot, whose mission is to build an army of autonomous robots for smart logistics solutions. The guy's name is Rajesh Manpat, who's the founder of Arc Robot. Take a look at this.
Arc Robot is a robot which will move goods from one place to the other. Currently, we're serving the e-commerce market. We also look forward to retail market. As warehouses start getting bigger and bigger, the throughput of the efficiency of the system falls down at the back end of the inventory. So it affects a lot of things like accuracy, delivery times of your products that you order online. So we're looking to solve that problem. And with GST passing, warehouses getting bigger, this is a perfect time for us to bring a product like this into the market.
All right. And how do you feel after winning the Q Prize contest? Did you think, how much of a chance did you give yourself? 2 crore rupees is a lot of money, isn't it, for your startup?
It's a lot of money, yes. I'm really glad that we won this. It's a vindication of the kind of idea that we put in. It's very encouraging for us to continue to work in this direction. A panel like this, to have judged us and declared as a winner, gives us more sense that we should continue to work in this direction and build great products.
All right. And as a startup, we have the budget 2016 that's upon us. As a startup, if there was a wish list, say top 3 things or top 2 things or the topmost thing that you would like to see in the upcoming budget for startups, what would it be?
Number one thing is most components that we are sourcing today are coming from outside. So if there's some sort of subsidization for doing off the duty import part for a while at least, before the local local ecosystem starts to build, I would be looking forward for that in the budget.
Yes, wishing them the very best, Krishna, after winning that Q Prize. But one topic that's really been trending and for all the wrong reasons on Twitter is Freedom 251. We addressed this in our number crunch yesterday about how 251 is just too good to be true, and it looks like everyone thinks the same. We've just curated some of the funniest tweets on this because apparently a lot of people tried logging into that site and it crashed. People who got to test the sample were also in for disappointment. So, some tweets talk about how maybe it's called 251 because you have to try it 251 times to switch on the phone. Others are calling it fake in India because apparently they've copied designs from Apple and Google and what not. I really don't know how the company is going to come out of this and show that, they are a legitimate brand. But I think they really have some talking to do. And Manohar Parrikar too apparently skipped that launch at the last minute. So that's also got a lot of tongues wagging. We'll really have to see where 251 goes. But clearly they have no freedom as far as the criticism on Twitter is concerned. But Krishna, away from that to the world of books, what do we have?
Before that, Chandra, I still can't get over fake in India, but anyways, it is time to get over that and move on to our special segment where we have Edcast CEO Carl Mehta telling us how the book Only the Paranoid Survive by Andrew Grove changed his life and why he highly recommends it for entrepreneurs. Take a look.
Well, my personal Bible for the past 20 plus years in building startups has been Andy Grove's book, Only the Paranoid Survive, and pretty much in all my startups, I have gifted the copy of that book to all my employees because I truly believe that the way to drive in new development or a new company or a new technology is you have to be everyday paranoid about it, and Andy Grove describes it better than anybody else.
With that, we come to the end of Startup Central Edition today. It's been great bringing you the show. Over to you, Krishna.
Absolutely. Takeaways for me, Fake in India. And I love the name of that book, Only the Paranoid Survive. Every time I was paranoid, I thought like I'm getting something wrong. Maybe not. I need to read that book too. On that note, we will wrap things up over here. But keep watching ET Now. Coming up next is Market Watch.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.